Okay, I want to preface this video by saying that I am no expert in any transmissions, but I happen to have an assortment here today. So these are starting on the left side here. We got L series early all the way up through KA, and then that over there is on the far right is a 6-speed from a G35. So we have pretty much the L, NAPZ, and KA covered here, and then I just have the G35 one to compare. So if we start down here, this is a Dogleg 5-speed. It's a 63A. The number is right there. So it's the year, I believe, is the 63, and then it's like a F5 for 5-speed. And so that's the Dogleg has the funky reverse to first to second. And then we have the next transmission. This is a 4-speed. This is non-desirable transmission, but you can use this bell housing on these transmissions to convert them to L series. So you can tell it's not desirable because it has this plate here, so that means it's a 4-speed. And yeah, these I hope don't multiply in my shed now that I have this here. Next we got, oh, I guess I should say this is also a 71B, I believe. It should be right there, but I can't make it out, so we'll get that stamp on the next one, which is this one here. And you can actually make this one out pretty good. See, it's a 71B, and this is a 725 speed. This particular transmission was in my green truck, and I blew up reverse in it, so it will need some work. You can see how it does not have this plate here, so that's a 5-speed. This was also out of a 4-wheel drive, so there is no speedo even drilled and tapped there in the tail housing. So the next transmission is the D21 5-speed, and it is a 71C, and it says right there. Alright, back to, oh look, that's a 71B. So that says 71B, but then if we look up here near the shifter, we'll find a 71C, and that's a 5-speed. So, and then the D21 has a bolt-in flange for the shifter. You can remove the shifter in 2 ways, either with the bolts, like this one, or you can, well, you can remove just the shifter itself. There's a snap ring, you can see it right there. You just pop that snap ring out and drop the shifter in, and then pop the snap ring back in, and that shifter would be reinstalled. So yeah, this transmission is a 240SX 5-speed. It's essentially the same as the D21, just longer. And this one also says 71B on the casting. And then thought I saw. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, you can obviously tell it is different. I think this is the same as the RB, but don't quote me. And then lastly, we have the CD009 G35 transmission, 6-speed. This is essentially a early throwout bearing and a later throwout bearing. They are pretty much the same. When you do get a new throwout bearing, you press off the bearing and then you keep this cast piece that comes through here. And then, let's see, some interesting from this perspective. We have each one of these transmissions has the same transmission mount. So this one comes with a single point mount. This is a stock 280Z or 620 transmission mount. Bolts right up. This one has this same style, which is used on the KA stuff. But if you go back a little further to this L series and Z series, it's this style. So they are transferable. I find it interesting that the early style, like the 521, this is a 521 transmission mount, and they went from the saddle style to the flat style back to the saddle style. The saddle actually fits right in there, but because of the mounting holes, it wouldn't fit. It's also not the correct location back and forth. Another difference between the L and the Z and the KA is the lean. So that changes. The bolt pattern is the same, but the pitch of the bell housing is different. And the way you can tell is if you look straight down it, there's a spine line on the shift on the transmission. And for the L series, the left side hole will be closest to the center line. So L series, here's the L series. Again, center line, left side hole is closest to the center line. And then if we look at it, a NAP Z, this is a NAP Z transmission. You look down the center line, you have the right hole is closest to the center line. And then if we look at the D21, same thing. Center line, hole on the right. 240SX, same thing. Center line, hole on the right. The bell housing on the 6-speed is completely different. Another interesting thing is they all, other than the G35 6-speed, have the same spline count. They all, that's, so your 620 or whatever Z-car drive shaft, or your LZ drive shaft, or whatever it is. Struggle. Oh, there we go. They all fit. So this used to be a spud adapter for my green truck. Engineering failures. Let's measure some stuff. So we're gonna go bell housing to middle of the transmission mount. We got 21 and a half-ish, 21 and a quarter, 21-ish, somewhere in there. And then So the output, it's like 26.25 or something. This isn't precise by any means. Now we're going 4-speed. We got 21-ish. 21-ish to the middle of the mount. And oh my. And we got like 31-ish to the on camera. 31-ish to the output. And then on the 720 we got 21.25-ish, 31-ish. On the D21 we have a further back. Now we're at 22.75, but we're still at a 31-ish. It's a little shorter. In fact, I want to say that's like 29. So then now we're on the 240. And we are about 22. A little over 22. And 33.5-ish. Okay, 6-speed, just for kicks and bends. We're looking at 26.5 to the mount, and then only like 29.5 to the output. Oh, not even. That's like 28. That one sits down in there. That's a bigger output, so that will require a different output or a different drive shaft, I believe. I'm not even going to speculate on what sensors are. I do know this is reverse, and I'm pretty sure this is overdrive. Again, I'm not sure on these, but it's probably the same. Reverse, overdrive, reverse, overdrive. And yeah, that's pretty much it for these guys. I guess the clutches are different, so they go up in size as they get newer, and the KA clutches are very large. So you want your throwout bearing, whatever this cast piece is that comes with your transmission, you want to keep that, and as well as the lever arm. So try and keep those together if at all possible. And yeah, shifters. So early shifters, they have a couple of ears. There's a pin, and here's some plastic bushings. You can see this one's shot. You can get bronze bushings for these. Do recommend. There's a little plastic cup at the end. This sometimes breaks, but usually that's pretty good. This is the 720 style, or the NAPZ style shifter. It's spring loaded, so it doesn't wear the bushings out, and it's nice, and you can flip this plastic piece and get a little bit of a shorter throw. And it uses the same pen style through the ears as these shifters. Yeah, that's about it. Any questions, ask down below. I may or may not know. Somebody might though. All right, thanks for watching.